You saw the ham video, so let's get right into these 6 sides. First off, potatoes dauphinoise. First thing, I'm gonna slice up my Yukon Gold potatoes. I got a mandolin to ensure that I get nice thin slices. If you got a steady hand and can cut them with your hand, go for it. All right, we got the potato sliced up. Let's get everything layered up. All right, so start on the bottom with just potatoes. I'm gonna layer them and kind of shingle them. This is my take on potatoes dauphinoise. So I'm gonna salt this. Got some garlic here and I've got my microplane. And I'm just gonna grate some garlic on top of the potatoes. I'm gonna add a little bit of butter. I've got some thyme that was literally just picked out of my garden. Got some Comté cheese. I'm gonna grate some cheese over it. All right, so my next layer, I'm gonna add some more potatoes. So my second layer is gonna get some salt, more fresh thyme. Fresh cracked black pepper. Now we're gonna add some cream. And the top layer of potatoes. We want to carefully place these so it looks pretty on top. All right, let's finish off this top layer with a little bit of salt, cream, black pepper, more cheese, Comté cheese brings that complexity to the dish. And I'm gonna top all that off with a little bit more fresh thyme. All right, so I've got the potato dauphinoise completed. I've got a roasting pan here and I've basically put together a bain-marie. I've got water in the bottom and a towel. The water is gonna help this to cook evenly. We don't want it to cook too fast and we don't want it to boil, it may break. And the towel in the bottom is gonna serve a couple of purposes. It's gonna keep the dish from sliding, obviously, but in addition to that, it'll create a barrier in the bottom of this pan so that we don't have a hot spot. I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I'm gonna bake this for 45 minutes. All right, next I've got broccoli gratin with Gruyère and hazelnuts. Let's get these hazelnuts toasted. Just gonna toast these up a couple of minutes till they're nice and fragrant. I've got my hazelnuts and they've been toasted. I'm gonna allow those to cool. While my hazelnuts are cooling, let's make the bechamel. I'm gonna start with butter. I got some flour. To that roux, I'm gonna whisk in my milk. I'm gonna bring that up to a simmer. I wanna allow that to thicken. Let's get the cheese whisked in. I've got some Gruyère. Got some Fontina cheese as well. I'm gonna season this with some salt. And usually in a white sauce like this, I would use white pepper, but because it's going on top of this broccoli gratin and I want the bite of this black pepper, I'm gonna add black pepper to this. And I like a little more. You can do a little less. or more. My cheese sauce has simmered just long enough to melt that cheese. I'm gonna set this aside. I need to get my broccoli blanched. I got some water here that's obviously been pre-boiled. And I'm gonna get this broccoli blanched. It's gonna go into this hot salted water for about 2 to 3 minutes or so. I got a colander set up here with paper towel. And I'm not going to shock this in ice water because we're going to immediately put together our dish. Top it with cheese and the topping and stick it in the oven. All right, so I got the broccoli steamed up. I'm gonna mix my broccoli with the bechamel. I'm gonna season it with a little salt and fresh cracked black pepper. And I'm gonna put my broccoli and cheese mixture into the bacon dish. All right, let's get these hazelnuts chopped up. To the hazelnuts, I'm gonna add some panko breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese. Give that a good mix. We've got some extra virgin olive oil that I'm gonna add to that. Gotta love olive oil. Okay, so I got my topping done and I just wanna top my broccoli evenly. All right, so we got the broccoli gratin topped. Those cheeses are gonna add an umami, and that hazelnut is gonna add an earthy crunch. I've got my oven preheated to 375 degrees, and this is gonna go in for 20 to 25 minutes. All right, so the next thing we're on is sweet potato casserole, but it's sweet potato casserole elevated. I'm doing a sweet potato casserole with bourbon, and it's got a pecan streusel topping. Let's get right into it. I got my sweet potatoes that I need to get flesh scooped out of, but I also have some butter that I need to brown, and I can do both of these things at the same time. So first thing, butter in the pan, I'm gonna get this browned. So we're gonna know that this butter is browning because what's gonna happen is it's gonna start to pop and make a bunch of noise in the pot. And once that popping stops, we're getting to the brown. As you can see, the popping is slowing down and the butter is browning. Clearly it's beginning to brown. I'm gonna pour it into my sweet potatoes. So to my sweet potatoes, I'm gonna add my sour cream. And at this point, I'm gonna take my potato masher and I'm gonna mash them up. Got some maple syrup. Bourbon. Vanilla extract. And salt. Continue to mash. All right, let's give this a taste. That's delicious. What I'm looking for in this, I don't want this to be overly sweet. Obviously, you see, I did not add sugar. We want to taste the sweet potatoes in this. We've got a slight sweetness with that maple syrup. We got the bourbon in there doing its thing. We've got some salt. that does a lot for flavor, a little bit of vanilla extract. That's all we need. Now let's put together the streusel topping and get this in the dish. So going into the streusel topping, I've got some chopped pecans, brown sugar, flour, and some cubed butter. Get all of that mixed together. You gotta get that butter incorporated with the dry ingredients so it resembles crumbles. We basically got butter crumbles. All right, so into my casserole dish with my sweet potato mixture. I'm gonna top it with my streusel topping. The sweet potato casserole goes into a 375-degree oven for anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes. Let's make this cranberry sauce. I'm making a Luxe cranberry sauce. This ain't your grandma's cranberry sauce. It's got pomegranate, it's got blood orange, it's got a little honey, a little cinnamon. Let's go. I need to get the zest and the orange from this blood orange. Obviously, I'm gonna get the zest first. Into the pot. Now the juice. Look at how beautiful that is. And look at the juice on that. Hence the term blood orange. Juice goes into the pot. I've got some pomegranate juice. Sugar. I've got a whole cinnamon stick I'm gonna toss in there. And some honey. I'm gonna bring this to a little boil here. All right, we got a little boil. I'm gonna go ahead and add my cranberries. And I'm gonna boil those for 8 to 10 minutes or so. I wanna boil them until they're all popped. You'll hear them start to pop. And when the popping is done, that's when we're done boiling. So all the berries have burst, but we want to allow this to simmer until it thickens. Like I said, that usually takes about 10 minutes or so. All right, I got the consistency that I want on my cranberry. I'm gonna pull that cinnamon stick out of there. And this is what I'm looking for. Now this is gonna thicken as it cools as well. It's gonna set. I'm gonna set this aside and I'm gonna allow this to cool in the pot before I put it in my dish. Moving right along to the cornbread stuffing with chestnuts and pancetta. I'm starting with my pancetta in the pan. My pancetta's crispy. I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna put it on this plate I have here with paper towel. In this same pan that I cooked my pancetta in, I'm gonna add some duck fat. I've got some leeks that I've sliced up, celery, and I've got some shallots. Boy, these smells are off the charts right now. I'm gonna add in my chestnuts. I got some fresh rosemary. All of these herbs are straight out of my garden. Got some sage.
And fresh thyme.
I'm gonna add my pancetta bacon back in. I love the fact that this is diced so small. That means the flavor is spread out just that much farther in the dish. So I'm gonna take my sauteed mixture, and in this bowl, I've got cubes of cornbread and brioche, and they're toasted. And I'm gonna add my stuffing, I'm gonna add my saute mixture to the bread cubes. I'm gonna add some chicken stock. I'm gonna start with a cup of it. I like to always start with less than the recipe calls for so that I can walk my way right up to where I want it to be moisture-wise. I've got some sherry, some dry sherry. I'm gonna add a little of that too. Season this with some salt. Fresh cracked black pepper. I've got some butter here and it's nice and soft. I'm gonna butter my baking dish. And now I'm gonna just pack that in here. All right, got a nice buttered dish. This is loaded with flavor. This is gonna be really, really good. So I don't wanna pack that. I just kinda wanna loosely tap it with my spoon. I'm gonna cover this with foil. I've got my oven preheated to 375 degrees and this is gonna bake for 30 minutes with the foil on. We're gonna pull the foil off and we're gonna continue to bake it and brown it for an additional 15 minutes. For my green bean almondine, I need to get these green beans blanched and shocked so we can get them ready to be sauteed. Salt in the water. Just gonna drop my beans in the water. Should take about 2 minutes. Green beans are ready. Plunge them in that ice water. All right, the beans are blanched. I've got some brown butter that I browned earlier. I'm gonna start with that. Wow, so fragrant, that brown butter. So into my pan with my beans. I've got a lemon. I'm gonna get that zest. I'm gonna add some slivered almonds. I've got some flaky sea salt. Season it with that. And some fresh cracked black pepper. I've got some champagne vinegar. I'm gonna hit it with a splash of that. All right, I'm gonna dish them up. I'm gonna finish my green beans with a drizzle of some truffle oil. Just drizzle it right on top. I'm also gonna finish it with some shaved Parmesan cheese. All right, so the 6 holiday sides are done, and the wines that I'm pairing them with are the 2021 Beaufort Pinot Noir. This is from the Beaufort Vineyard in Willamette Valley, Oregon. And I have the 2021 Aubert Powderhouse Chardonnay. This is from Sonoma County. Let's get them in the glass. All right, so the Chardonnay, it's got a beautiful golden hue to it. I'm getting lots of flowers, and I'm getting herbal tea. A little fruit there too. Let's give it a taste. This is Chardonnay at its finest example. I mean, there's that fruit, that aged or seemingly aged fruit, the minimal acidity, and there's almost a creaminess to these wines. I think with my intention with the Chardonnay is that it would cut through the fat sides, like the fatty sides or the rich sides, like the potato dauphinoise or like the broccoli gratin. I think this is perfect for that. All right, so let's try the Pinot Noir. Beaufort is one of my favorite producers, and I've over the years, I know I have a lot of favorite producers and a lot of wines. If you drink wines as much as I do, you have a lot of favorites. But the Beaufort, one of my favorites. Oh man, the nose is so inviting. These wines are so seamless and just so structured. No alcohol burn on the nose. I'm getting cranberry, I'm getting cherry, and more cranberry and more cherry. Let's give it a taste. Medium bodied, cherry, more cherry. I'm getting some floral notes as well. I'm getting a little funk, a little mushroom funk. I'm getting some, also what seems to be either piney or eucalyptus, somewhere in that realm. Wow. I think the fruity notes in this wine, the cherry, the cranberry, the apple, are going to go a long way in lifting some of the things that we got going on, especially the vegetable notes, like in this stuffing, the caramelized vegetables. Then we got the earthiness of the green beans. We got truffle. We got that brown butter. We got those nutty almonds. And in addition to that, it goes a long way in matching the acidity of the cranberry. Let's see if it all pairs. All right, let's see what we're working with here. Potato dauphinoise first. Oh my goodness. That's delicious. That smile on my face right now is genuine. So the potatoes, I'm gonna sip my Chardonnay. like butter. Like butter. Let's see, we've got broccoli gratin. The hazelnuts and the broccoli gratin is everything. Pinot Noir. The stuffing, it's got all the caramelized vegetables, cornbread, got brioche. That cranberry sauce, we cooked it in the pomegranate juice, sugar, honey, cinnamon stick. This is a cranberry sauce with depth. Luxe cranberry. Wow, I like the Chardonnay with the cranberry sauce. Man, we did it. 6 sides. This was a fantastic pairing. No double check needed. I'm Chef Glenn B, and as always, eat well.